Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix. You're joining me here for the deciding match between White Clan and Media. Depending on the outcome of this match, it's going to decide who is going to be joining as in the playoffs, along with Soul Gaming and NetWars from Group B. We're going to go in quickly to have a look at who our next couple of players are. Now we are going to have a little bit of a substitution here for Media. This is sort of part of the problem they had at the end of the season with people not showing up. But G5 subbed in for Future. G5 hasn't had the best of luck in the STPL. Did lose to Bai in this matchup already, and losing to Cadenzi as well. So a little bit unfortunate there. But his opponent going to be fighting for the first time for White Clan. It's going to be Terran. So hopefully my mic sounds a little bit better now, but if the music's a little loud, I'll turn it down. Basically, I finally got my settings right, so it doesn't sound as bad from what I understand. But if it is a little bit low, please let me know, and I'll do my best to turn it up without completely destroying the microphone. But things not looking all that great here for G5. I mean, obviously statistically not in the best of positions, but they're going to be up here on Katrina SE. Now Katrina SE PvP has been a little bit Terran favored, but when you look at the history, you can see why. Koga took down White from DM, Terra took down Just, Dragon took down Reina, Naokan took down Dentag, and last took down Xenosky. So a little bit one-sided matchups on this map, unfortunately, in PvT, which helps skew the balance a little bit. But this should be a good match regardless. We just saw Naokan versus Jeju. That was a very fun PvT, and I'm looking forward to G5 versus Terran here in game number 3. Let's, without further ado, get started and get on over to the game screen. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Brown Terran fighting for White Clan, fighting for their position to make it, to scrape their way out of the group into the playoffs. It's gonna be Terran for White Clan. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom middle. It's the White Protoss fighting for Media's life, and not only this series, but also round number 3. It's going to be G5 fighting for Media. I don't know how I just managed to knock my mouse over, but that happens sometimes. A little bit unfortunate, but this should be a fun matchup. Now, a little tidbit that I learned the other day is if it's a neutral building which is Terran, like a power generator or a side disruptor, Terran can actually repair it. So if we saw G5 go for an all-in here, if he tried to go for this power generator to break through to make a hole, Terran could actually pull his SCVs and repair it if he wanted to. That is a really cool tidbit. I didn't actually know about this map, but it also affects other maps as well. And now G5 looks to be playing pretty standard so far. Gateway into a gas. One of the things G5 very well known for in the past is his ability to go for a proxy expansion somewhere, a hidden expansion should I say. Now, are we going to see that this game? I'm not too sure, but hello Bano, nice to see you again. Nice to see you once again, but looks like G5 is going to get this probe into the base. Now, this should in fact get stuck if Terran does actually opt to go for that, but he is going to go for a gas steal. That makes it a little bit more annoying for G5. G5 actually losing his probe as well, so a little bit of a misstep there. But he is going to be going into his core behind this, likely going to be seeing a Dragoon first into range. So nothing too unbelievably crazy going on. But things are looking pretty good here to start us off in this match. Now, this gas seal is going to be a little bit more annoying. Looks like Terran did actually skip a Marine for a little bit, but build it a little bit later than you normally would in order to get this command center out a little bit quicker. Obviously, he does have a wall at the front, which is going to help him a lot against any possible early pressure, but there's going to be 2 gateways power goons, so he is going to be going into 2 gate range dragoons. He'll rally those across to Terran's base, and likely need to take down this power generator, or at least one of these supply depots, to break his way through. But obviously G5 is going to be on a timer, even though Terran's gas is incredibly delayed. He will eventually be able to get out a tank, and then things get a little bit harder. And White Clan are very strong, but they're not unbeatable. We saw that in round 1 and round 2, yeah, they won. They did lose a couple of series in that time. Round 3, they actually nearly didn't make it anywhere near the playoff spots. They got a lucky walkover against MSJ due to MSJ dropping out of the league, and that actually put them tide to tide with Media and FBW in the 6th week of the STPL. So this 7th week match for them is going to be their chance to advance out into the group. But because if they do advance, they'll be advancing in 2nd. Just to take you through a little bit of the matchups. So NetWars advanced in 2nd from Group B, and Soul Gaming advanced in 1st after going undefeated in the round. So they did lose sets. They didn't go 4-0 the whole way through. So not a completely unbeaten record. That is still yet to be done. We have had teams going unbeaten before. White Clan unfortunately hasn't done that, but Red went unbeaten in round 2. They took out they took out White Clan to do that. They were the one team in round 2. So basically, who is playing against who? Soul Gaming, the winner, will play the winner of Group A or Group B even will play against whoever advances from this group in 2nd. So it's going to be FBW, Media, or White Clan, depending on the outcome of this series. And NetWars are going to be playing up against Naz. So Naz did win the group regardless. There's no way any of our teams from Group B or Group A will catch them up. And NetWars team 2nd. So that should be a really fun match. America versus Poland. Well, I say America, but they've also got someone from Belgium and also a Peruvian in their team now as well. So it looks like we do finally have that bunker up. That is out just in front. The factory is actually incredibly delayed, so things are looking a little bit problematic here for Terran. Now, this bunker is all that's keeping him in the game at the moment. He did get a very fast academy. Now, did he get marine range? Did I just miss that? I think he may have done. Now, we should have range on the Dragoons, so... Oh, I haven't set my stream on TL. Thank you, Koga. You are a king. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be a... It's going to be a quick stream today, most likely, because we do only have one series to cast, but I might do some ladder streaming afterwards, depending on what people want. So, we did see Naokum versus Jeju just now. That was a fun matchup. Naokum played really, really well until he got like 20 tank status, and then the game kind of went away from there. But G5 going into Robo support bait from here, so he is going for it all in. He's not opted to take an expansion, which I'm not too sure I agree with. He did get a good lead earlier on, but against the marine range from this academy, the Dragoon pressure is going to end, and we are going to have siege mode with a siege tank coming in. And that's when things get a little bit dicey here for G5, because G5 isn't going to be able to put the pressure at the front that he once was able to. And he doesn't have an expansion yet. His expansion is only now just starting to go up. He is ahead in supply, but obviously he has been building a lot of Dragoons. He has had higher production for the time being. Now it looks like we are going to have the Reaver dropping into the natural. He gets a good Scarab. Not the best possible Scarab, but a good one nonetheless. Now, is he going to target down this armory and the depots? Or no, it looks like he wants to go for a little bit of a kill move here. Now he is going to drop down, kill one of the SCVs. Trading a Scarab for an SCV isn't exactly the most efficient trade. I mean, you do get efficiency, but you don't get those big Scarab hits. Now, we do have Goliaths out already. Terran is going to push his way forward, getting a couple of missile turrets as well to try and help defend against this. Now, there is no shuttle speed, so Oh my god, it looks like G5 could actually lose his shuttle. If he loses the shuttle, the Reaver is most certainly going to go down as well. Oh, the shuttle goes down. The Reaver goes down as well. And a couple of Zealots actually going to try and take down this Goliath. They should focus down this tank, but unfortunately, he doesn't know how much damage it's on. There we go. Looks like he is going to get the tank anyway. And the Dragoons coming in the front. Are they going to be able to kill this tank before it unsieges? No. It's going to get in. It's going to siege back up against some. SCVs were pulled. And G5 tried to make a breakthrough here, but looks like it didn't pay off. He is going to try and take down this barracks. The siege tank is going to have to move forward to try and defend against this, but obviously that does leave him with a possible snipe situation. But there we go. Looks like he's got another tank behind this. Going to make it very difficult for G5, but in the meantime G5 is securing his expansion, securing his Stargates, because he is going for 2-base carrier. Now 2-base carrier isn't necessarily a bad choice on this map. In the air distance between the main and the natural of Terran is very, very small, so the carriers can dive in, do some damage, dive back again, and there's nothing Goliath can really do about that. Terran is actually still only on 3 factories. He doesn't have a 3rd base. He doesn't have a massive tank count either. So pushing against this is going to be very difficult. Now, looks like we did have a scan at the front to see exactly how many units G5 had out there. And from this, he should be able to surmise that either G5 is hiding his unit count, or he is going for some kind of major tech behind this, because the Dragoon count is a lot lower than what it should be in this stage of the game. But G5 looks to be going for his patented play. We do see that scan going down. Going to see the double gateway coming in, but does not see the Stargates. So that's not a good look for Terran, who could be in a little bit of trouble here. His upgrades +1 attack only now just coming in. That's a little bit late compared to when he got the armory. Of course, had spent a lot of money trying to get extra factories out to defend, but Terran looks like he wants to go for a push here. He knows there's not many units. He knows the gateway count is low, and there we go. Another scan going down at the front to check there's no additional units. The Terran has secured his ramp now. And let's double check the 7X core. Yeah, there was an upgrade going on the 7X core. I don't think that was going during the scan, although maybe it was. This does take quite a while to upgrade, so I do apologize for missing that. But it looks like Terran's still scanning around, seeing exactly what's going on. Not actually sure what he scanned there. We do have a couple of turrets here to defend against any possible shuttles. Obviously he's got the makings of a turret ring. But securing this location means he is going to get access to this 3rd gas. This is a full gas, but nothing too crazy now. Vulture speed hasn't actually come in for Terran yet, so that's a little bit unfortunate. It looks like it's just finished, so G5 still hiding this probe in the top right-hand corner. Now, the good thing is, if he takes this expansion, it's the furthest possible place on the map away from Terran. The Terran's still trying to scan around to see what's going on. There we go. He finally sees the carriers. This is gonna... What response even is this gonna trigger from Terran? He's got a starport, but no science facility as of yet, so +2 attack is not gonna be on time. Oh, this is a little bit tentative here for Terran. It looks like he wants to try and push in. There's actually not that many units here on the ground for G5, who's been spending a lot of money on this additional nexus, on his carriers, on his carrier upgrades. Now +1 air attack should finish relatively shortly, but it may not finish before Terran manages to push through. He's actually going to be pushing with turrets. A good move against these carriers. Now the Observer does see this, so G5 knows what to expect, but the trouble is, if you expect this, you still have to deal with it. And that's going to be difficult. The carriers at low numbers not going to be high enough to take down this many turrets. Terran with a great push here. I really do want to know how G5 is going to try and answer this. Now we do have that 3rd base coming up in the top right, but he's not going to be able to get any probes over there. We do have a scan going down on those front Dragoons. Those Dragoons are going to go down. A pylon is actually going to go down on supply block G5. He does have his third and fourth carriers coming through. Where are his carriers right now? They're down here, so they're going to be his fifth and sixth. So he's just trying to bide time. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, the more time he can bide, the better. But looks like he is going to try and push here. The tanks are actually on siege, so this is a good moment to go in. There's not actually that many Goliaths, but there just isn't that many carriers at the moment. A lot of the ground army going down. G5's carrier micro not the best, losing a lot of his interceptors here. And oh my god, the carriers are actually getting attacked here. One of them very low on shields, about to start taking hull damage. But the Goliaths actually have to push a little bit too far forward from the tanks with Terran, with a very, very strong push here into the main of G5. Showing the raw power of slow pushing. G5 unable to mine properly up at this base. Unable to get that extra economy coming in. Now his 5th and 6th carriers have arrived. +1 attack is done. Still no +2 on the way here for Terran. He does have a science facility now though, so that should be coming in soon. But the trouble is, what is G5 going to do about these Goliaths and these tanks? They're pushing closer and closer to his main base. And G5's doing his best. He's microing his absolute heart out here. But is it going to be enough? There's just so many units. How many interceptors? It doesn't look like he's got the interceptor upgrade yet or something. There just isn't very many. I know a lot of them have gone down. But I mean, these interceptors, they've got +1 damage and they don't seem to be doing much. I want to try and find a carrier without building interceptors, but looks like he wants to try and push forward. He's just trying to do what he can to delay this Terran army, but obviously the less interceptors he sends out, the harder and bigger the problems he's going to have. Okay, so he does have the interceptor upgrade finally, but he's just not been able to build up the count. Now, he is building mass Dragoons. I almost feel like mass Zealots would be better here. I'm not sure if he has speed yet. I don't think he has a Citadel, so... Okay, so he does have Citadel. He's going into Templar Archives. The Dragoons are going to melt to these tanks at the back, and where are the Zealots? There aren't enough. Now it looks like he is going to push forward with his carriers once again, but Terran in such a very strong situation. The players who lost for Media was Jaeyun, who gave a walkover at Nyokan, who got taken down by Jeju. The G5 here trying to stay in this game, trying to stay alive. He does have this third base, but it's not mining efficiently. You can see there's very few probes up here actually mining, and time is running out for G5. He's lost his main base. He's going to lose his main nexus here. Even building a missile turret in range of the nexus. This is the ultimate move of get out my game. I have won this here. There's nothing you can do but G5 continuing to build up the carrier count. He's got 8 carriers now. This is critical mass, but can he do enough damage? Can he kill all of the tanks and push in with the Dragoons? It's not looking possible, but he's going to be doing the best he can. He's not keeping his carriers on leash range for now, so more units are going down than necessarily need to. It looks like he's trying to target the Goliaths, but the Goliaths are not the problem. It's the tanks. The Dragoons can deal with the Goliaths, but it looks like he could, in fact, clear up this army. 8 carriers, a strong force to worry about. But this is not the end for Terran's forces. He's sending in more and more reinforcements. Can G5 clear up this army before it's too late? You can see the Dragoons are utterly helpless in this situation. One of the carriers actually being targeted down by a turret. Good targeting here by Terran. But is the carrier count just too high? The turrets are going up behind and they're really helping out. But the Goliaths are getting on top of the carriers. One of the carriers goes down. That's a big chunk of this damage in G5's army. He's actually lost his Cybernetic score, so he's not going to be able to build any more Dragoons to help here. And he's still trying to fight against just mass turrets, mass Goliaths. Another 3 Goliaths even on their way, another 5 here. So 9 Goliaths coming in at a time. There's more Goliaths on the ground than there are carriers. Well, necessarily, that's not the strongest army composition. It's still doing pretty well. He's holding on to his tank count, and that's the important part. The Terran units are getting on top of this. G5 microing his carriers so heavily. He's not building any units, not spending any of his money. Every ounce of his concentration right now is going into these carriers. He just queued up a few units there. He's actually got some DTs, but the turrets are making it impossible for these to do that. Actually, he could have just queued up interceptors. Yeah, it looks like it was that, but the DT moving in does get taken down nearly. There goes the scan, gets taken down, gets a good splash hit on the Goliaths though, so that's something. And G5 is holding onto his natural at the moment. There is a unit going up to this top right position though. It's a 4 tanks, completely unimpeded. There are no gateways up here, no units will be able to come here to defend, but G5 still pushing in with his carriers, still trying to micro his way into the playoffs here for media, but it looks like Terran with the constant reinforcements is too strong, but G5 still hanging on. He doesn't want to give up. He knows if he loses this game, media will not make it into the playoffs. Nice DT switch here, but the trouble is there's so many turrets everywhere. The DTs are doing nothing but buying time. Here we go, looks at the tanks going down on the Nexus now, gonna take that down. Carriers continue to be microed. Terran is going for a 4th base here, but looks like Terran has actually lost his main bulk of his army at the front to the carriers. Good micro here by G5, who's continued to keep his 7 carriers alive. Great job by him. Terran still with a good position, but G5 fighting back. He's now got Zealots. There's no tanks here, no Zealot speed though. And the Goliath count is still very, very high. The Zealots trying to go in to eat some of these shots for the carriers, but looks like Terran is trying to get on top of the carrier, trying to focus down one. It's very, very low. G5 cannot afford to lose a single carrier in this situation. Let's keep an eye on the health bars of these carriers. One of them very low, one goes down. That's 6 carriers now. It looks like the Zealots still running in one by one, trying to get some additional damage, some additional soaking done. And Terran is actually losing a lot of his Goliaths here. The final tank is going to go down, and all that's left is these turrets for the interceptor count, a lot higher than it was before. And G5 is actually going to re-expand to his main base. I don't even think there's 400 minerals here. Really not worth it, but you know what? He's trying. He's going to stay here. He's lost his top right base. He's actually completely out of money now. He's unable to rebuild his interceptors. You can see he's mined out at his natural. This main base is all he's going to have. And Terran is just reinforcing with so many Goliaths. He knows that G5 is going to be on the ropes. He's doing his best here. G5 to hold on. One of the carriers on 11 HP right now. There's no additional units coming in. No additional interceptors will be coming out here. One of the carriers goes down. That's 5 carriers now. And G5 still struggles to hold on. Can he secure another base? I don't think it looks like he's going to be able to, but if he can kill all of the Goliaths multiple times with the few interceptors he has, then maybe he can make something happen. But another carrier goes down, and with every carrier that falls, so does G5. I nearly said G5. GG! And G5 taps out, giving Terran the win in the game. Okay, so that puts us in a bit of a weird situation because it means we have a 3-0 victory, which does become a 4-0 victory here for White Clan. The reason behind this was, unfortunately, Machine did not show up for his game either. Media after this series said they could not carry on with the STPL any further, so they will not be joining us for round 4. I say that with a very heavy heart. MSJ dropped out as well, but that's going to take us down to, I believe, 14 teams from 16, so we still have a lot of really active teams left, and we're going to be heading into round 4 after the playoffs, which are going to be next week. So I'm going to quickly show the results screen, then I'm going to quickly reload the overlay to insert the new game, just to make sure we know exactly who's going into the playoffs, and just confirm it all on screen. But the final game would have been between Machine and Tuhan. on Simpix and Baekdu. Now, Tuhon did win that over a walkover, so let's just have a quick look here. White Clan take the 4-0 victory here in this series. Our final non-playoff series of round 3. BWL for IRP still need to be casted, but I'll do that at a later date. I don't have the replays for that, unfortunately. But just having a quick look here, you can see Sun taking game number 1 over Jaehyun in a walkover. Jeju taking down Naokan in a really cool PBT on Athena 2. Terran taking down G5 on Katrina SE. G5 holding on to his very best with his carriers, but unfortunately Terran proved a little bit too strong and did eventually push forward and win the game there. After G5 lost his main, it was always going to be an uphill struggle. But he tried his best, and he gives us a final game from Media in a very, very nice way. Chin unfortunately couldn't make it for his game, but that does give us a 4-0 victory for White. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second, I'm going to quickly reload the overlay. Just need to quickly make a notepad file as well, just so we get this all in the overlay and all working, because I want to make sure that everything's right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show today. The playoffs are going to be tomorrow at 2100 CEST. That's going to be semi-final A. That's going to be between the winner of Group A and the second place from Group B. It's going to be Naz versus NetWars tomorrow. And then we're going to have on Wednesday semi-final B, Seoul Gaming versus White Clan. Are going to rematch once again. Now, I did say we were going to check this out on the overlay, but I do know that White Clan went through just based on the previous information, but I'm still going to show it on screen just to be sure. We'll put the dates up as well. And then the playoff finals are going to be between whoever wins. So I do not know who won that series, but I'm really looking forward to being able to see it. Both of them actually. Naz versus NetWars should be sick. Both of them with such good players on their roster. And Seoul Gaming versus White Clan, it was a treat the first time we saw it in round 1. We saw Mind versus Miso and Best versus Scan back then. I'm not sure what we'll see this time. I'll post up the lineups in the thread tonight, ready for Sunday. But let me just quickly load the replay again with the passer that Radley designed, so we can just see exactly what the results are going to be. Yeah, so it's the end of my week off as well, so I'm going to have to go back to my normal job tomorrow, unfortunately. Not looking forward to that too much, but it could be worse. At least I have a job, I guess. Obviously more STPL tomorrow at 9 PM CET, and Wednesday 9 PM CET, and Friday at 9 PM CET as well. That should be a lot of fun. There's going to be a special announcement tomorrow at the end of the show, because I'm going to go through what the maps are from round 4. I've not actually announced that anyway yet. I've told the teams, so the teams know, and they've got a map pack as well. At least I hope I uploaded the map pack for them, just so they could get practicing on them. But we do have the passer going through at the moment, just adding on that final game, then we can bring that up on screen. So a huge shout out, just in case you don't know, Radley from NetWars has helped me a hell of a lot the past 3-4 weeks. He's helped me fix my database so it's a lot better. I've been spending tireless nights fixing the code as well, and he's been helping me so much. So huge shout outs to Radley for being such a cool guy, because without him I don't think I would have been able to get my overlay to this point. So my overlay was always, when I built it, I tried to make it as good as I could. But looks like I need to run the passer again, so if you'll forgive me, I'm going to throw up another song while I do this, and then we'll show everything off. But it's been a cool round, just to go through the round a little bit, to go through exactly what's been happening. We've seen a lot of crazy good games, just sort of go through and explain exactly what's been happening. So what have we seen throughout round 3? We've seen games on Plasma, we've seen carriers in PvP, we've seen mind control versus carriers in PvP, we have seen insane PvTs on Katrina SE, we've seen a lot on Athena 2 as well. We saw Yol, the qualified ASL round of 24 player who did qualify, at the Busan was it the Busan? It was Seoul qualifiers. I think he qualified at 2 days ago. We saw Medina from Rev take him down, so that was really sick. And just overall, it's been a great round from beginning to end. I know there's been a lot of breaks in between. Obviously, the round is still technically not over because of the playoffs, which are coming up very, very shortly, obviously the next 3 days. I've seen a lot of support from you guys, so it's been very, very great. I've been very humbled at the amount of support I've received. Like, I couldn't ever imagine that you guys could be so generous. It's been absolutely great. Throughout round, yeah, Buell is from Seoul. That's Buell from Seoul. It's the same guy. He has won a lot of Havati tournaments as well. And just overall is a really good guy. So, just to explain my journey throughout round 3 as well, while we wait for this passer to finish. Because unfortunately it goes through and gets every single game. Basically, to explain what's happened with me, I started and I found out I was going to go to BlizzCon at the beginning of round 3. What else happened? Looks like I need to quickly edit something and run the passer again, so things are going really well. But basically, I went to BlizzCon, that was one of the breaks, then Christmas happened as well, and it's just been a crazy time overall, so I just, you know what, it's just been a crazy journey for me doing the STPL. I've been doing it now for a very, very long time. So I started in March well yeah, it is last year now. So it's been like a crazy, crazy 9 months for me. We're going into round 4 soon. I've got a lot of cool new stuff to show off from round 4. I need to render all the videos, so I could spend the next week doing that. Which is going to be a bit annoying, but I'll get there. But I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Obviously there are other Foreign Brood War tournaments going on at the moment, but the one closest to my heart is the one I want. The one I run, obviously. Support the BSL in any way you can. There's also a Matcherino link to support the STPL's prize pool. That isn't updated, but let me get you the proper one. You can donate to the prize. You know what? I'll leave that for now. But starting from round 4, there's going to be another code from Matcherino to add some free money to the prize pool. We're currently sat at over $1,500, which is absolutely insane. There's going to be a little slice of that pie going to every single team that's played. Every single team that's playing in round 4. Any teams that have dropped out, unfortunately, I'm not going to keep in just because it wouldn't be fair on the teams that stayed in the whole way through. It's required a lot of effort from all the teams as well, so huge shout outs to those guys, because without them, we wouldn't have the games for me to cast, and I've had such a blast casting them. Number of sets is not the match score. What have I done on this passer to screw this up so much? It's like I've gone through a 5-minute song and I'm still not done. So if you'll excuse me 1 second, I am just going to sort this out and I'll be back in just a moment. Guys, in a minute. Okay guys, I have managed to get the pass to work finally. I just copy pasted like a clown. But let's head on over the up-to-date check that it works. Okay, I need to reload the overlay again. This is just a bit of a pain, but it's one of the many annoyances of having a new database, not quite managing to get everything to work in time, but looks like it has added their win, so that's good. Just quickly go back here, quickly load it again, but thank you for the assistance. I know, that video is pretty funny. I must admit it's kind of depressing, but it is really funny. The reason why it's depressing is because I know I'm bad at this game, and it just points out that I'm bad, and it just makes me feel worse. But here we go, the results have been updated, so let's have a look at the main overlay to just confirm who is going to be going through. There's one more thing that I need to do, which is just quickly add the next matchup screen. So we're going to have Naz versus Netwars. Okay, well, it's not doing my TBC thing, so whatever, let's head on over the overlay. Let's just confirm who is going to be going through. So from Group A, you can see at the end of round number 3, we have Naz at the top of the group with 6-1. They did an insane job in round 3, one of the better teams in the STPL. Really haven't shown their strength until round 3. They had a little bit of trouble in round 1 and 2, but they're back in round 3 with such amazing players, and joining them, picking FBW to the post by 4 wins. It's White Clan. So White Clan, despite looking rocky, managed to make it out of Group A, and they are going to be moving into the playoffs once again. Can they make this their triple crown? They won round 1, they won round 2, can they win round 3? It's going to be difficult, because waiting for them at the top of Group B is Seoul Gaming, who have gone undefeated in round 3 in their group. Now Red did this in round 2 as well. They did beat White Clan to do it, but look at the quality of Group B. You have Seoul Gaming, Netwars, Red, IRK, DM, Clan Revolution, BWL and Psystorm. Psystorm obviously not having the best of luck throughout the season, but Netwars, Red and IRK are all incredibly tough teams to beat, including DM as well. And Rev are certainly on the up. So we're going to have Seoul versus White, that's going to be on Wednesday. And tomorrow we're going to have waiting for them in Group A. It's going to be Netwars Poland versus America here in our first semi-final. That's going to be tomorrow at 2100 CET. So you will not want to miss that. That should be a lot of fun. And that is the end of at least the STPL for today, but I am planning to do a little bit of ladder streaming when I get back after this break. So if you don't want to watch me ladder, please feel free to find someone else to watch. Obviously there's other events and things going on, but if you want to see me fail on ladder, maybe recreate some of those horrible moments in that video, stick around and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you guys very soon. And starting